All right, what is up, Comedy Calendar fans? We are coming at you with a little bit of a different flavor this week. It is going to be our new show, new segment here is going to be called the South Florida Comedy Insiders, and we couldn't be kicking it off with a more insider guest and somebody who I couldn't respect anymore in Miami comedy. I want you to quickly, studio audience here at the Community Newspapers, give it up for our guest, Ricky Cruz. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, nobody in the background. Appreciate you.
There we go. Joining Ricky Cruz and I is going to be my co-host, as usual, Art Roach. How you doing, Art?
I'm good, Sebi. Excited to have Ricky here, man.
All right, what's up, baby? Good.
There we go, man. And this is going to be a really fun new series that we're going to be starting here on the page. It's going to be a little bit of a variety where instead of just talking about what's happening, what happened, and what's coming up in South Florida comedy, we're just going to be getting to know some of the faces, personalities, and insiders that you've seen us talk about on the show. We're going to bring them on and kind of get to know a little bit more about their experiences in comedy and kind of what is Miami comedy and the people that make it tick and run. And one of those is Ricky Cruz, man. You've been around longer than we've even thought about doing comedy. You've been in the game and you've been cutting your teeth. I know it hasn't always been comedy for you from the beginning. Actually, we have a little throwback picture for you right here that we're gonna pull up here real quick. Right there, bro.
Look at that dude, man.
There it is. That's a throwback from college, right, Ricky?
That's college, man. That's like 1996, probably.
We're hitting you with that Nardward freaking interview,
dude,
baby.
I'm wearing like a no fear hat.
Yeah. No fear.
Dude, my roommates, man. Look at those criminals.
There they are, man. Actually, top left, that is my uncle Paul. He is the one. I'll break the Nardward illusion. That's who we got the picture from. And what I love about this picture is that it's like it's Ricky before the comedy.
Yeah.
It's the Ricky Cruz that didn't know he was about to go on to tour around the country, open a bunch of places, headline all the time. What's going through that kid's mind, and how was it that you got from him to starting to do comedy?
In that picture, through my mind, drugs. Like if you zoom out, you know. There's a bunch of shit happening, man. But that's just when I started, bro.
Yeah.
Like 1996, 1997, with that group of guys right there, they're the ones who told me, they pushed me, hey man, all you do is talk shit around us. You know, you should go try this shit somewhere. So that was Tallahassee. I'm saying 96, 97, right before I got kicked out of school for the last time.
Right before I was born.
When were you born?
98.
98, man. So like 96, and just hanging with that crew, man, was just like what brought this out of me, pretty much, you know? Just talking mad shit. You know, cracking everybody up. Like, every time I talk, I would stand up. I would just always stand up, people start talking. They were like, man, Rick, you can never sit down. Every time I start talking shit, you just stand up and start talking shit. And that's where it started, man. And I have one buddy, not in that picture. His name's Raul. We call him Squiggy. Mm-hmm. He's the one who's like, nah, man, you know, you love Eddie Murphy? Yes, I love Eddie Murphy. He's my dude, bro. He goes, man, just follow that. You know, and I was like, all right, man.
Damn, it's crazy you say that because your style, I've always thought about that. Your style does have a similarity to kind of Eddie Murphy, just over the top, you know, like in your face. Yeah. Like
you know, and fun, just life experiences. And of course, exaggerating your life, you know, and just, it's a love of comedy, you know. And if I have fun, you know, I always felt the audience is going to have fun.
Yeah.
You know, but that picture, that was the beginning. I think that next summer, because I got kicked out of school from Florida State like 3 times.
Oh shit!
Damn, they let you back in twice.
That's how good I was at getting back in.
That's interesting.
I always talked my way back in. I'll just change majors every time they kick me out. I'll find a new major, and then that school would take me in. And it was never being like a dickhead. I would just never go to school. My grades sucked.
Right.
And they just released me from the major. I have to find a new major. So, you know, I ended up in criminology. Because, you know, I went in there and I told the guy, you know, I've been through all these majors, but I realized I want to be a cop. My father was a cop. He got shot in the line of duty. You know, that made me realize.
True?
No, man.
Oh, man.
My dad
It was a bit. It was a bit.
My dad is alive. He's an accountant. He just, dude, but I had him, bro. They put me in the school of criminology, man. And so they kicked me out eventually, too. They're like, I got the piece of shit. Get out of here.
Once they figured out
They figured out you were a criminal.
Yeah.
Once my dad came to Parents Weekend.
They're like, can you show me the scar? What are you talking
It's
about?
a miracle. He's alive.
Did you ever perform up at FSU?
I did. So, like that summer, I came back home and I was watching Deco Drive one day, and Deco Drive had a piece of open mic night at the Comedy Zone in Miami Beach, right on South Beach, like 16th and Collins. And I was like, oh shit, that's where I'm gonna go do it. Mm-hmm. So I went, I did it there. I brought like 6 of my friends. All those guys in that picture, they went, you know, and I murdered. I had my set, I fucking murdered. And then they were there too, over laughing and shit like that. So the next week, I went back. I didn't tell nobody. I went back by myself. You know, just nobody there want to try this shit. Bro, I bombed my dick off, bro. I fucking bombed my dick off. I'll never forget a table of like 6 girls. It was empty. It was a table of girls and like 2 dudes over here. All the girls got up and fucking left, bro.
Damn.
I was fucking crushed, ruined. That shit ruined me for like, I was done. I went back to school that semester. I went back to school, man. That's what comedy's fucked up for me. I had to think about it for like 4 months, you know? And then got kicked out of school again. And like, you know what, man? Let me revisit comedy, bro. And so in Tallahassee, I organized shows, different bars. And it was like football season, so I called them comedy rallies. So every home game, I'd have a comedy show and like a pep rally style shit. It was me. And this is pre-internet, man, or basic internet just started.
Yeah.
So I found some other comics in chat rooms. You know, these were basically like dirt bags. You know, they were doing like truck or stop jokes and shit like that. They'll stay in my apartment. I had a dance team of chicks.
Oh, nice.
They would come and dance. And so I did it for like 3 shows. And then I'm just fucking surfing the internet and I see the Improv open up Coconut Grove. And I was like, oh, fuck Tallahassee, bro. Let me get out of here. Let me go back to Miami, man, and go to this Improv, see what's up. And so I went to the Improv in the Grove. They had just opened. This was like November 97. They were open for maybe a few months already. Started hitting the open mics, you know, and it was really quick because there's not a lot of comics down here at the time.
Yeah.
You know, it was, Kyle Grooms had been doing threes before me. He was a class before me. Razor, Flip Schultz. Not a lot of guys, you know. And so I started getting work right away. Like, they were hosting me, like, after my 3rd open mic, they're like, okay, you can start doing weekends.
Nah.
And it was just, I just stayed working since 1997, man.
Damn.
With the Improvs, you know, because they branched out from that one club to all the other clubs they opened, you know. Mm-hmm. And they just started working me, man.
Damn.
And so this is, I think 26 years now, man, this November, bro.
Wow.
Then I got my first paycheck getting paid doing comedy.
It's crazy to think that, like, a lot of the stories I hear about comedy in South Florida, people talk about like the old Improv. Like, your story literally started before the old Improv. Like, that's
Yeah, there was one. They had just opened up. I think there was another club in Coconut Grove in Cocoa Walk. It was called Coconuts or something like that. It was one of those like weekend chains type deal. But the Improv was the first major club that came down here, and that shit was wild, boys, bro. That shit was like the Wild West, man. Like, the things that happened there was like.
Well, I mean, I've heard some of the stories.
You can imagine.
But
dude.
when I was younger, I went to the Improv a couple of times when they were still in the Grove as an audience member just to watch. And one of the times I went there, I think I was like 17 or 16, but I looked old enough that no one questioned me. And yeah, it was madness. It was madness. The level of drinking and debauchery. I mean, and afterwards, the comedians came off the stage and they were like hanging out with the people. It was absolute madness.
This is funny. I saw Ron White come out of the door. He just got off stage. I'm just walking in. I was working that weekend. I was walking into the club, and it shows ending. I see Ron White come out of these double doors. Bam! Face plants on the fucking floor in the lobby, bro.
Damn.
I was like, holy shit, man. What a fucking party. I saw, putting his business out there. Sorry, guys. Whatever. George Lopez on a stool. Just tequilaed out, bro. Boom! Falling off the fucking stool, man. I saw, bro, Kevin Meaney. I don't even know who this guy is. Kevin Meaney is one of the, kings of, comedy, that's one of the legends of comedy, bro. Like, I don't know, so many Tonight shows he was on. Mm-hmm. I'm talking like from, I don't know when he started, but he's like just an OG murderer, Dude, he could not follow Joey Diaz one night, bro. Joey Diaz put it on him. Joey's a fucking madman, dude. And he just had that crowd in a fucking froth. He was featuring, Joey was fucking featuring, dude. This is Joey's feature days, bro. And then Kevin had to go up after him, and he didn't want to hear it. He's very jokey, hey guys, whatever. He had a cup in his hand, all right? Bro, he slammed the cup off on the floor, man, walked off the fucking stage. I'm just in the back shit, I was hosting, And then Joe Bashkoff, he was the GM at the time, he grabbed me, hey, go back up, finish the show. Bro, I got 5 minutes.
Well, you brought up Joey Diaz, so obviously you've worked with him before, and we've talked about it.
Yeah.
But he actually brought you up on a podcast a couple of weeks ago. So feel free to share whatever you want on our podcast. But one of the things that I heard at that time from him was that he would do that all the time, where he would just be such a good feature that headliners had a hard time following him.
It just he is thunder, bro. Just the whole room vibrates when somebody like that's on stage. And this was my beginning of comedy. This was like, I'm brand new into this thing, man. And somebody like that I worked with a lot, and you would see that, and you're like, okay, that's what comedy is right there. That's possible, man.
Right,
where it just resonates so much, and don't really got to be, set up, punch, tag. It could just be like these real life experience stories, man. Because people laugh at emotions, they don't laugh at words, man. It's like a song. Singer can sing whatever they want to sing about. It's how they're singing it.
Yeah.
That makes you react to it. And comedy for me is the same way. It's just like, the feeling that comes out of you is what resonates with the people.
So we have one other picture that I want to bring up, Rachel, if you don't mind. Do you remember anything from this?
South Beach Comedy Festival?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is like, which year was that? God,
2015.
I did a lot of those, man.
It's 2015.
I'm with actually Esther Kuda Knight at the show.
Yeah, Esther Cruz also going to be on
and
Bacon.
Dom.
And Dom's hosting
L.A. Hardy.
Bacon.
Look, he's an OG. Man, that guy started before me. One of those guys that is a straight professional, been hustling for a long time, works a lot of cruise ships, does it the right way. He's cool with everybody.
Nice.
Nice guy. I learned a lot from him how to be a professional, man. But I don't remember that festival too well. That was 2015.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I opened for Joey in that one too.
Well, it goes to show, I mean, you've, over the last 25 years, you've worked with every single person that's come through in South Florida comedy. I mean, from local guys that kind of started up here, two guys that came in and you either opened for them or featured for them. We mentioned Joey Diaz a little bit ago. Is there any other person that you've kind of either opened for or worked with that like stands out in your mind?
Oh man, there's so many. Because like I said, there were so few comics down here at the time. I got to work with everybody, man.
Right.
George Lopez, Ron White, Joe Rogan, Carlos Mencia. All the guys who were doing it big.
Yeah.
I got to work with them and just and watch them. And I would always just sit back and watch. Ears open, mouth shut. Never trying to be everybody's buddy. They want to be cool with me. Be cool with me. That's cool. Type shit. But it was awesome. Rogan was awesome.
That's crazy.
Super dope. We'd hang out after the show, go to Barracuda,
Nice.
chill. He was down, man.
So in that time, one of the comics that I know you worked with really closely was Ralphie May.
Yes.
So one of the legends of the sport, I think. In terms of an art form, it's interesting since he's now passed.
Yeah.
Kind of like Patrice in a sense, he's almost become this like comedy martyr.
Yeah.
Where
Man.
like bigger than he was when he was alive. You know what I mean? Like
100%,
like
man.
to an extent.
Yeah.
I was thinking about him
What
today.
was it like working with
I was thinking about him today, actually, man. 'Cause I met him through Joey. 1999, I had just gone to California for a showcase at the Improv on Melrose. And then I didn't know anybody out there except Joey Diaz was out there. And he was like, hey, you come to town, you look me up, I'll set you up. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get to LA. I know I got a show on Friday, Saturday. Didn't know where I was gonna stay. I get to the airport. I'm like, take me to a Best Western in Hollywood. So a cab driver, there's no Uber back then.
Yeah.
Cab driver takes me to fucking Best Western Hollywood. It's across from the Comedy Store. I had no idea it was across from the Comedy Store. Just, like fate like that, I'm like, shit, Joey's always at the Comedy Store. Let me go see what's up. So I didn't even get a room, bro. I just went to the front desk. I was like, yo, dog, I'm gonna put my bags down. I'm going across the street real quick. I'm gonna find somebody and I'll come back like in an hour. I go to the Comedy Store. I see Joey right away. He gives me a big old dad bear hug. Ah! I hang out with him. He's like, where you staying? I was like, bro, I was gonna stay across the street, the Best Western. He's like, no, dog, I got a place for you. My buddy Ralphie's out of town for the weekend. You can stay there, but Sunday, you gotta bounce. All right. So that night, I went to Ralphie May's apartment in 1440 North Gardner. This is a building on Sunset and Gardner, man. It's legendary. And so I stay at Ralphie's place. Ralphie comes home early. Okay. He sees me and Joey sleeping in their place. He knows Joey, he doesn't know me. He's like, yo, yo, Joey, who's this runaway? Yeah, that high-pitched voice and shit.
Yeah.
That's my dog, Ricky Cruz. He's family. Hey, Ricky Cruz, want some biscuits?
Damn.
Yo, so Ralphie,
that.
Ralphie comes in. He starts making biscuits in the fucking morning, man.
Damn.
He's chilling, man. He goes, yeah, you can stay tomorrow, man. It's all good. So I stayed that whole week with him. And then I was supposed to go back to New York, like that Monday. Mm-hmm. And
You were living in New York at the time?
Yeah, I was in New York at the time. And then I'm like, I don't think I'm going back. And Sunday morning, I get a call from my agent in New York. He says, hey, man, you have a final callback for Young and the Restless. Yeah, I was like...
The soap opera?
Yeah, it was a producer callback. It was between me and some other guy.
Nice.
To get this part, Tony. The
In
guy-
LA?
No, it was in New York.
It was in New York.
I had to go back to New York for the producer callback. And I was like, nah, yo, Jeff, man, I'm not coming back.
Oh, shit.
Like that.
He's like, you
Damn.
don't want to do, it's just between you and another guy for the part in the soap opera. I was like, I don't want to be a soap guy. I'm a comic, man. That's what I want to do. And then the showcases went really well at the Improv. That I had meetings set up the next week with NBC, CBS. These are just get to know you meetings. But I was like, fuck, I got this meeting signed up, bro. So I never went back to New York, bro. Like that fucking soap opera thing. I was like, bro, fuck it. Whatever that paid, I didn't even know what it was gonna pay me, man. I was like, fuck that soap opera shit. And then I stayed in LA the rest of the time. I moved to another buddy's house on his couch for the rest of the time. And then the year changed, became 2000. And then I moved back into the building where Ralphie was, into another studio that was there with somebody else. And then we all became boys. Ralphie was there, Joey was there. This building was out of control, bro. Jay Moore come hang out. Kevin Spacey would come hang out, bro. Joe Rogan would come hang out.
Damn.
I've heard
it was like this comedy frat house, man. And then I was, again, maybe 2.5 years in. All these guys have made their bones already, pretty much, you know. I kind of related to rock and roll in the 80s, like how comedy was. Like, you know, Ralphie was like Motley Crue, you know, like not known around the country yet, because he hadn't done Last Comic Standing. But, bro, when he was at the Laugh Factory, that shit was sold out because he was there. He was at a comedy store. He was selling that shit out, bro. Like, everybody knew what these guys were going to be, and they followed him around. Yeah. And so I was just doing the open mics at the time, you know, doing some belly room spots, never regular at the comedy store, you know. I became the host of Latin Night at the Laugh Factory, you know, and this guy just always took me under their wing. And then I started touring with Ralphie. I had moved back to Miami at that time already because I had my daughter. Oh, wow. And I moved back home. And then by happenstance, I'm at the Improv. Ralphie's headlining. I'm featuring. You know, it worked out. He had just gotten divorced from his wife. She was his opener.
Oh, wow.
Good old Ralphie.
Like, hey, man, I got some work for you, dog. I was like, all right, bro. And, bro, it's just like
that, you're on the road.
I was on the road, man. I was in his tour bus. He fly me everywhere. Bro, the most generous fucking person, bro. You know, the club paid me something. He paid me more. Nice. Like, what'd they give you? I was like, they gave me this. He goes, not enough.
Bam.
Pay me this, bro.
I don't know if you know this, but like that legend of you being in LA, working with Ralphie, working with Joey, that is a story that's told in the Miami comedy scene. Like,
oh, like that's possible. This can happen to you.
Well, I'd heard the story from other people before you told it now. So I don't know if you ever told it on tape, but I'm glad that we got it on tape today because it's crazy to think that, you know, so like he said, Ralphie May is like a comedy god to us, right? To think that you were at his house, he cooked some food for you.
Bro, all day. Like, he told me how to clean the barbecue, man, with an onion. I was like his barbecue bitch, man. On Sundays, he'd have these barbecues and all the comedy family would come out from everywhere, bro. And in the patio in the back, we'd have these barbecues and then he'd be in his place getting his shit ready. Ricky Cruz, go clean that barbecue. He had me an onion. I'm like, what the fuck I do with this onion, man? He goes, turn it on and you scrub this onion on the barbecue. The acid from the onion is going to clean all that shit off. I was like, all right.
It worked. It was crazy. It worked.
And it flavored the grill.
Yeah.
And I've heard a couple of other crazy stories about like Ralphie May's apartment where he apparently like would let a ton of people.
Oh, everybody crashed there, man. Yeah. My buddy Johnny West, he would crash there. There's another comics, man, because he's from Houston. So anytime a Houston comic came through, you know, they stay with Ralphie. That building was like that. Man, I just couch surf different fucking.
And so you're touring with Ralphie and you start traveling, and that's up until like what, around 2016, 2017? Because he passed in 16.
He passed 2016 October. Right. You know, so I did his last tour, with the White Trash Christmas tour. I was on that thing, and then subsequently before that, because he had a few openers he would use throughout the years.
He would rotate.
Yeah, he rotate. Like we had like regions. You know, I do Southeast, East Coast. He had West Coast guys. The Smash Brothers did a lot of West Coast. He had Gary Cannon do some other things. And so yeah, throughout the year, but he just always gave me, you know, my chunk of work throughout the years. Like, hey man, I got you, bro. I'm gonna give you this set of dates right here. You're good.
So you transition from that kind of period where you're getting that consistent work as a comic, then you go into what era of Ricky Cruz comedy? At that time, you're living in Miami, and you're just
I had been living in Miami the whole time, you know. So it's like, you know, he passed, and then you start doing your own shit, you know. You start hitting these clubs up by yourself, you know, trying to get one nighters here. Bro, and he was such a G, bro, because he would tell the clubs, man, he's like, hey man, headline Ricky, bro. He's like, he'd be like, give him a night. If he bombs, I'll pay his salary. You know,
that's real.
You know,
wow. That's real.
A lot of guys
that's cool.
That's when you know a guy's your dude, bro. You know, when he comes out of pocket, like he calls the club. Like, and the thing is, I never ask nobody for nothing, bro. Like, I don't call nobody, hey, take me on the road. Hey, you know, you want to take me? You take me, bro, because you like me. You think I'm funny, you're going to take me, bro. So that's cool. And, you know, I never asked nobody to call nobody for me. You want to call somebody, that's on you. And he did it out of nowhere. He said, hey, I called this place in Richmond, man. You know, they're going to headline you. I was like, oh, shit, cool, man. And he told me, yeah, he said, if you bomb, I got to pay you.
So don't bomb.
And what's crazy, like for me at least, like, so we're talking about all this stuff and like the culmination, obviously I've only met you a couple of years ago, but the culmination of it all and seeing you kind of headline the Dania Improv, I think it was last month or October.
Yeah.
I mean, man, like I was super proud of you. You know what I mean? I was like so happy.
You know, in those moments, and I'm, dude, God, boy, you know, I'm still grinding, bro. I'm a grinder comic, man. You know, I'm still opening for people, getting my headline dates when I can. You know, so
We see you at Taurus.
you know, exactly, man. Doing the mics, whatever it is. So when you get those, hey, all right, man, you know, the big club in town wants you to headline. Oh, okay, man, awesome, bro. And those are like little carrots that keep you going. Because this thing's the grind, bro. That's what I always tell younger comics, man. It's like, just keep going, bro. Like the only secret sauce is just you just never stop.
Do you have any 2025 headlining dates that you feel comfortable sharing yet? Or?
No, nothing really set in stone. You know, I put them out there on my Instagram when I do.
Yeah.
Well, when
You know?
the next one, when you do, please send it to me. We'll make sure get it shouted out here, and if we can that week, we'll get you in for an interview for that show specifically
for
as well.
sure, man, for sure. And I always tell people like, the 5-year mark is the mark where people bail.
Yeah.
It's like you stick around for a long time, or you tap out and say, yeah, I give it 5 years, but this is not for me. I'm gonna take my life in this other direction, man. Like, if you can get past 5 years, usually it's like, okay, man, you're in for a long haul, and it's a long haul, man. You know, it's ups and downs. You can't like, you know, judge your career by your bank account.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
know?
you've been doing this as long as Sebastian has been alive. So
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my comedy career.
I'm a physical representation of Ricky's comedy career.
For real, man. And it's just like my son, he wants to act and stuff like that. And we were talking the other day, and he's very honest. He's like, hey, man, boss, you like a lot of your friends are famous, man. He goes, how come you haven't made it yet? And I'm like, everybody got a different path, bro. I was like, you know what? You just can never quit. You just can never, because if you quit, then it ain't never going to happen, bro. So that's the one thing. Just never fucking stop.
Yeah. Amen. Amen, bro. We were talking about before the show started a little bit about kind of online content and how much that's impacting kind of comedy. You know, we see at the Miami Improv, great comedians who don't have that presence not selling tickets, and then some newer comedians that don't have the time yet really selling out and doing a great job. I know South Florida comedy in general, everyone's kind of grinding on content creation. We have a couple of people in the scene that kind of do a pretty good job. Do you have anything coming out or anything that you're thinking about for next year that you'd like to?
No, but you know, I used to be like so anti-content guys, and I would like really hate on these people because of that. They were bad comics, but they had, you know, a big content community, and they would sell out these tickets. And then I had to be like, man, stop being a dick, motherfucker. You know, Just like, good for them, bro. You know, they're doing the content, they're selling the tickets. Maybe they'll figure out the comedy side of it. If they work hard at stand up, maybe, you know, that'll come around. Because I came from this old school mentality of just stand up,
Right.
you know, and you just can't be that way. You know, you got to like you got to go with where the tide is going, you know? So I do want to get more into content creation, you know? Because I got to sell tickets, motherfuckers, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I've been a funny motherfucker for a long time, you know? But like, thankfully, the community respects me. Like, comics
100%.
everywhere know who I am, you know? And that's cool. That's all I've ever wanted, really, is to be respected by my peers, because that's great. That's the people who know what's going on.
Right.
But also, I gotta pay bills. You gotta pay some things here and there, you know. So you have to jump on board with where the eyeballs are at, and the eyeballs are on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, like in my case, like I'm a little bit closer in age to you than I am to Sebi, for example. And working so closely with him, that's one of the things I learn all the time, where he's pushing me on things that I'm a little like you, like content, get your minutes down, and then we talk about content. But the world today, you know, with TikTok, you might get 100,000 views on some little bit that might turn into 400 people showing up at the Improv.
Man, and really, it's like, it's fear. It's like, oh, it's not my thing. Because I hate seeing my face on my phone talking to myself. I'm like, oh, but like, you know what? The same way you started stand-up, it wasn't your thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a brand new thing to you. You have to like try something new, man.
Yeah.
Like, get out of your comfort zone. That's what the thing is. Okay, that makes you uncomfortable? Do it, dog.
Yeah.
I'd love to see some of is there any film of you in early sets by any chance?
Oh, sure, somewhere. And that's the thing, man, I don't record a lot of sets. So stuff online you see, if it's on YouTube, usually I didn't put it up there. It's somebody else that put it up there, and it's janky as hell. You know?
Well, if anybody out there has some rare Ricky Cruz footage.
Oh, man, I want to see some vintage.
Send it to me. I will put it exclusively.
The
here at
West Palm
Comedy
Improv
Calendar.
back in the day would record all my sets. I have stacks of DVDs. Never looked at them before. Never looked. They're like reels of DVDs. Just never looked at them, man. But they're out there. Now I'm trying to get more, you know, I guess, you know, I'm trying to get better about recording my sets.
Yeah.
putting them out there because that's where it's at, man.
Hey, Ricky, I got an idea. Maybe
Just
we
these clips.
start a Patreon, upload all those DVDs.
Oh,
We'll talk
man.
offline. We'll talk offline. I got some
man.
ideas.
Well, I don't know what Patreon is. No, I'm kidding, bro. But yeah, I do want to
Don't
get
patronize them.
Yeah, I do want to get more into that, man, because that's where it's at, man.
Yeah,
you can't fight
100%.
that. You can't fight that.
And so going into kind of this new space of trying to create content, does it change the way that you're approaching your like writing or how you're performing, or are you just going to try and just capture it all and just put it out?
No, it's like as far as stand-up goes, I record stand-up. That's just gonna stay the same. Just putting a camera up there and recording yourself doing stand-up,
right.
and just taking the clips out like everybody does and putting it up. The other content, like doing the skits online and things like that, if something comes to you, you do. I've always liked doing clip shows, and I do it sporadically. If you look at my Instagram page, there's a couple clip shows I put up. Just be more consistent with that, and going forward.
But so what I was kind of going at is, how do you feel about these kind of like these new structured shows that are coming out that are like improv shows, or these shows that are kind of built in to being like clip driven? So like, for example, we got one up in Boca. I don't know if you've done it yet, but it's Riff Roulette. That's ran by,
those are like bottom of the barrel.
Right, bottom of the
Those are
barrel.
like, stand up on the spot.
Yeah,
by
we do.
Jeremiah.
Like they do. Like on Wednesday, we're doing Master Debaters, which is similar, where
Yeah.
they just debate a random topic, and it's kind of like the live improv comedy. Is that something that you would want to?
I
like,
dig that because that's what I do.
Right.
If you guys watch me on stage, I rarely do the same shit. I'm always going off topic. I'm so ADD. Whatever happens in the room, like that's what my problem. I'm so autobiographical. Whatever's happening in my life at that moment, no matter how fucked up it is, I got to talk about it. You know?
Sure. Yeah.
So those riff shows, that's like me. I love riffing, man. I get tired of seeing the same shit over again.
Because I've seen, like, at least when we're at the Improv, some of these guys have like parts of their shows. They'll do stand up, and like, for example, Martin Meaney, he does like that matchmaking part where it's not really like stand up, but it's this one section,
Like a dating thing?
Yeah, like a dating thing, and it's not necessarily that per se, but there's
Different
this one-
comedians do different
yeah,
things.
different comedians do different things.
So I do a scroll thing I do a lot lately.
That's what I was gonna say. I've seen you do that at the last New Faces.
Yeah,
that you
I
came
do a
through.
lot. I take my phone out and I have notes of jokes never said before, just whatever ideas, words. And I think, hey man, I'm gonna scroll. When you guys say stop, I'll stop. It's kind of like just a riff roulette,
Yeah.
Like wherever it stops, hey, lizards.
Yeah. And then you go off.
And just go off on that, whatever
Right.
it was, And that's how you start building new bits. Oh shit, that was a bit. I'll make that a bit for next time. Man. Look at that, And then I think the audience, I've been finding, I do at the end of my set too, that they find, oh, this is cool, man. This is something, don't know.
Yeah. And is that a generality with your writing process? Are you like
What?
always like you have the little ideas and you do like you write them on stage, or do you actually handwrite your
Well,
material?
I usually write, I take an idea out, paper cups, whatever. Oh shit, okay. And then I go to my notebook and whatever my takes are on paper cups, I write them out, boom, boom.
Okay.
And whatever I have in my hand at the time, if it's my phone, I use my phone.
Right.
Just whatever. But I like to
You like to like bullet point out your set.
yeah, bullet point that shit out, but boom, boom, boom. So you have it in your head, okay, it's in there.
How it flows, yeah.
And
Gotcha.
then like before a show, go through your notebooks and okay, it's in there, okay, and it's like you're putting it in, and then like I don't know how I'm gonna get to it or where it's gonna be, but it's in there somewhere and it's gonna come back.
Yeah.
So I want to bring our attention to Thursday nights in Brickell, the Killing Minute.
The killing joke.
Killing Joke,
Yeah.
excuse me. Yeah. So it's the premise of the show is basically
Kill Tony.
Well, yeah, but they do 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, at the end, 3. Let's see.
So if you don't mind, just give us a little.
Well, the Killing Joke is through Miami Comedy. Manny Garvito, he does a lot of the shows in town. Most of them, man. We all get work from Manny. So we're blessed. The Killing Jokes Thursday nights is basically a trend like Kill Tony, where there's a professional showcase before, and then after we panel for some comics been around for a minute, some brand new the first time, and they go do 3 to 5 minutes. Usually not 5 because it's towards the end of the night. I want to get the fuck out of there.
Right. And you guys usually have like a heart out. So it's like we gotta get
Yeah,
out at this
11
time.
o'clock because they got another party going on
Yeah,
after
yeah,
us.
yeah.
The DJ's coming in, and it's just us either roasting you or encouraging you, type thing, And like, I don't like being crazy mean to people. So
But it's fun.
It's fun, but like it's just roasting you in good sport or like encouraging. Some guys are really fucking funny,
Right.
And it's their first time, and yo, man, keep coming back, bro.
Have you done it? Have you done it?
Yeah, I've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did it go well for you?
Yeah, I did.
It's fun. It's
Every
fun.
time I've done it, it's gone well, except for one time that there
Bro.
was a heckler in the front
Yeah.
that he just tanked the room, and then like he just kept every comic that went up, it was like, okay, how can this comic deal with the heckler guy? And so it was like, whatever.
That happens, man.
Yeah, it happens.
It's the room is awesomely set up. It's low ceilings.
Yeah.
It's underground.
It's like a basement
It's
in
a
Miami.
basement.
That's
Well,
weird.
So what's cool about it is a basement, but originally it was a bomb shelter, and now comics go there to bomb.
Yeah, exactly. There
So
you go,
good,
bro.
thank God it was built.
There you go,
Thank God
bro.
the walls were built for bombing.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
the
Last
reason-
week was rough, bro. There was like one guy like that wouldn't shut up the whole time.
Yeah.
Like legit coked out, you know?
Oh, of course, of course.
And it was just like, dude, just the whole vibe of the show kind of was like tanked, bro. And it was like, you know, I try to bring it back up, you know? And then, you know, I just fucking included him in my set.
It made it
Of
part
course,
of it. Well,
yeah.
and the re-
That's what you got to do. You can't. If you end
sometimes,
up
you know?
being combative, and I've seen it like actually like last week, I saw it a few times that it was like the crowd. It's not going well. You could tell a comic is like in their feelings about how it's going, and then one person heckles when really that person's probably reflecting the sentiment of everyone in the crowd. Like everyone's feeling how that guy feels when he's like get off stage or next comic or whatever they say. And then as a comic, for you to like go at that person for that. It's like, no, man, you got to incorporate them into your set and make them laugh.
And then kill them, bro.
And then kill them with kindness.
No, or just kill them, bro. 'Cause that's what I did, bro.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I
you're
brought
right.
him in, disarmed him, and they started hammering him, dude.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
you know, and it was fine. Then he got on stage at the end. We brought
and then you're judging.
Then we judged him, murdered him even harder, bro.
Nice.
Killed him again, bro.
How-
Well, the first time I went there, actually you weren't there. It was one of the days that you weren't
Yeah.
there. Brittany Brave was the judge that day, and she ripped me apart. Well, and the worst part is that I forgot that it was only 3 minutes, so I went up and I started going, and then like, okay, you're done. I'm like, what? And then Brittany, I saw her. She like salivated. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this one. I'm gonna get this one."
Yeah.
It was the craziest experience, and I had
That's
ever had
hard,
a
man,
comedy
because
show.
you know you're going up to get judged, you know?
Yeah.
And by your peers, bro. We all know each other, you know? So it's all a good sport.
But it was awesome. I mean, and I mean, every week I hear people talking about it. They're excited. I mean, I see the promos you guys put up look amazing.
Yeah, the promos. I have noticed though, some of the micers are coming back.
Yeah, some of the guys won't come back.
Sometimes they go to other places. You know, I'm not gonna say his name. I love him to death. Really tall guy. He walked into last week's show and he saw the madness that was going on. He was like, "Nah, fuck this, bro. I'm out of here, bro." He got out.
It's fun because it's such a like coin flip in
It is a
terms of
coin flip,
like
man.
you either getting a really good like intimate crowd that is locked in, laughing like in a space for comedy, or they're down there like you said, getting drunk, doing drugs,
and
going crazy,
exactly,
and they're just
man.
waiting for this to end to go back upstairs and dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's one of the few places where I go sometimes and I get kind of anxious.
Yeah.
You know, even though I'm there all the time. I think I've only missed 3 this whole year, you know?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
there all the time. And like when I was going on last week, I was like, oh man, let's go, boy. Put your mind on. Let's go. Let's get this shit right, bro. You know?
I always feel like comedy should have that feeling.
You know, it
Like,
should.
You should always
It
have, no matter
should,
how many
man,
times
right?
you've done it, you should always get that feeling of like, oh, we're about to do something. Like, this is going to go down.
Yeah, I was like, damn, damn, dog, you a little nervous, bro. What's up, dog? You're a little nervous right now. And I was like, that's good. Because a lot of times, you know, shit, I'm down here in Miami. I've been here so long, you know. Sometimes I don't get that feeling anymore, you know, about a show, how it's going to turn out. And so in that place, like you said, you don't know how it's going to go. You know, got to get your juices going again.
I love that.
So besides being one of the kind of elder statesmen here in South Florida comedy, everyone looks up to, you said it yourself, you still hit mics, you still hit every show possible. Obviously, Mode, you know, where the killing joke starts. Miami Improv, Danny Improv, you hit those. Are there any other rooms that you would love to hit, where you kind of getting your reps in, where maybe some people can come see you?
Monday Night Bay Club.
Yeah.
That's one of my staples I go to all the time. Love that place. Tuesday night's kind of dead. Dom's, I might pop in there every now and again. Wednesday, we used to have a great Wednesday. We need Wednesdays to come back.
Yeah.
You know, so Wednesday we had the SLS.
Yeah.
Now we have the one in the Coconut Grove. I have to hit that more. But Thursday night's a busy night. Thursday night you can get 3 sets on a Thursday, you know? So you have, you know, Killing Joke, you have Taurus, you have Arlo that's going on.
Yeah.
You know, you have those. Then you have other book shows you could do. So those are the ones. And I try to go out as much as possible because I know if I go, they're going to put me up. You know, and I don't take that for granted. Like, not a lot of guys in the town that have a show up, go up, you know, policy.
Yeah.
You know, and I appreciate you guys that do that for me. You know, and I don't look down upon that, you know, so.
Well, you kill it, man. You come in there, you make our shows better. So, anytime you see me hosting, you are going to go up
So
next.
I appreciate it. So I'm like, you know, sometimes I'm sitting at home, I'm like, you going to stay home or you going to go out and do a set? And I'm like, go do a set because you know you're gonna show up, they're gonna put you up. And if you have that kind of, you know, I didn't say the word clout, but you have that, you know, I guess grace in the community. You don't look down upon that. Don't take it for granted.
Yeah, taking advantage of it.
Take advantage of it, man, and just try to get better, bro.
I will shout out one Tuesday room that's really new. It's called Smugglers in Wynwood. It's Dade County Comedy.
I've been seeing that pop up.
This Tuesday, Dean Gonzalez is coming back from LA, and he's bringing Jamar Neighbors with him.
Oh, dude.
So it should be a pretty
It'll be a fun show.
Yeah, if you're
That's good. Yeah, Dean's one of those dudes he's kind of branched out, and then he's been like a governor kind of for an ambassador, I should say.
Yeah.
And then he brings guys back with him to the scene. Another place I cannot fail to mention, bro, is the Comedy Inn.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's true.
The Comedy Inn is this place that is one of my home away from homes. The thing is, it's not every week. Mm-hmm. He does what he calls seasons. So he'll have like 3-4 in a row. He'll stop for a month and 3-4 in a row. But then he'll bring down the biggest bangers. Mark Norman will be here, bro.
Yeah.
You have Patton Oswalt will come down here, bro. It's like holy smokes, bro. Or who's that? Not Patton Oswalt, other Patton, Sean Patton.
Yeah.
He just had Rich Voss. He had Brian Holtzman I just worked, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this place in a hotel on US 1. It's in their banquet room. And it's like this black box theater, and it's just that shit rocks.
It's a kill room. Bro.
I still have yet to be there.
Yeah, I mean that
haven't been
shit.
there.
I'm telling you, man. It's the same host every week, David Stebbins, excuse me, and he's a madman. He's a headliner hosting. Mm-hmm. And that's why Mike, who runs the place, Mike Levine, he's very particular who he puts up because you got to follow the host, and that host is a fucking killer.
Makes sense.
So one of the things that we haven't been able to do, like on the comedy calendar, is recap any of the Comedy Inn shows because it's kind of a secret show. Like you don't really know, and people,
Yes, exactly, man. It's invite only.
You're right.
Yeah.
So he doesn't promote. If Mark Norman's there, you won't know Mark Norman's going to be there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He don't tell you who's coming.
Yeah, I always find out afterwards when you tell me.
Yeah, Brad Ernst is there. You don't find out.
Yeah.
They're on an invite list. It's open bar.
Yeah.
That helps. It's $45. He got a great business model. You pay $45, you get open bar, and you see a headliner. You had no idea who's going to be there. And then all the comics are going to be great on the show, too.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, I just saw 4 headliners in a row.
Yeah. Well, the first time I went, I saw Gene Harding there.
There you go.
And he was so good, I almost quit comedy.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not fair. You can't be that good. That's it. I'm quitting. Like,
Yeah,
it was
man.
that crazy.
And you will see those guys over there. Holy shit, this guy, man, murderer. And you got to follow these guys. And it just makes you better. What do they say? Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
Well, next time you're at the Comedy Inn, give us a heads up. I want to go.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah,
I want
I'm
to pitch
sure,
heavy.
man.
Yeah.
If I can, I'll ask Mike. Mike, if you're listening, I will get some footage and at least do a recap video afterwards. I mean, he doesn't need promo, but at least do a recap.
Yeah,
It's one of the
those things
biggest.
sell out a month in advance. Whenever
Right.
he puts up a show, it sells out.
Yeah.
And it's all community people, too. Because it's people from the area, Pinecrest, Palmetto Bay, Candle, South Miami. They all just go. It's like a little
The
hang.
show I went, they had 2 shows that night, and half the crowd stayed for the second show. So people that they paid 2 tickets,
Yeah.
and they stayed for 2 shows of the same people.
I just worked with Brian Holtzman over there. You guys know Brian Holtzman,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Comedy legend, man. He's just
Destroying it in Austin right now.
destroying it, a madman. The guy who's been doing it for a long time. There's some things that really challenges everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he walked half of the room.
Damn.
He walked half of them. The other half that stayed, I'll give him a standing ovation.
Wow.
That's like the classic. They say half the people are going to love it,
Dude,
half the people are going to hate
They
it.
got to love you or hate you, man.
Yeah. No matter what you say. You don't even have to be as far as Brian Holtzman.
No.
Say something slightly controversial, and it's going to be a 50-50 split.
Yeah, that's where you want to be, though.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody likes you,
Yeah.
then you're like vanilla.
So, kind of to close out this great conversation, I wanted to give you kind of a platform quickly to kind of lay some knowledge, give some wisdom to all the young comics that are watching out there that are ingratiated, whether you're in South Florida or you're just starting out somewhere else. What's some advice that you could give someone who's starting out maybe first 1 or 2 years in comedy that you think is crucial for continuing doing this thing as a career or continuing to be a working comic?
Well, I think what I can give, what's been given to me, man, is the first thing is stage time. That's the only recipe. Is getting on stage. If you want to be a stand-up,
Yeah.
aside from the content creation, all that, if your idea is to be a stand-up comedian and a good one who's trying to do original material and original shit, then stage time. 2, don't worry about being famous, man. Everybody else is trying to be famous right away because they see everybody with their followers and their numbers, all this, man. That's going to fuck your head up, bro. You're going to start going places like, oh, wait, that's going to ruin how people think about me because I'm talking about this topic and I might lose followers because I'm saying this. Nah, man. Just don't worry about fame. Worry about getting good and explore every recess of your brain. Every fucking idea you have is not a bad idea. Explore it, bro. Sketch that shit out on paper. Go on stage. Talk about it, man. And you bomb. That's 3. Bomb. You know, you got to bomb. People are so afraid of bombing. People ask me. Somebody asked me the other day, "Oh, do you bomb?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I bomb." You got to bomb. If you're not bombing, you're not doing it right. I'm sorry, dude. If you're up there and you're killing, you know, 100 times out of 100, yeah, it feels good and all, but then what you learn?
Right.
You know, when you fuck up is when you got to go back. Oh God, I fucked up right there, bro. Let me fix some shit. You know, so don't be afraid to bomb. It sucks. We all know it's the worst pain because you're being publicly fucking shamed. You're being humiliated in front of people, right? And it's the worst. Like, I've bombed sometimes, man, and then the people just like they walk by you with this look of disdain, like you
just farted.
Like you wasted their fucking time.
Yeah.
You're like subhuman, you know. They fucking hate you, bro, and that's not something everybody feels in life.
Yeah.
I think that's unique to comedians, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe surgeons who kill somebody on the table. I don't know.
Very, very humble of you to compare us to surgeons.
And
I think so.
surgeons only mess up one person's day at a time.
Yeah, exactly, man.
A whole room.
Maybe a whole family.
Maybe a family.
You might have
ruined their life.
You might have killed grandma.
Yeah, you might have ruined their parent, like their parents' life.
But then they got an inheritance off grandma you killed.
Yeah. No, 'cause
But
Silver
no,
lining.
it's silver lining. But yeah, man, bombing, man, it's part of it. And then learning from the bomb. Don't just bomb and do nothing with it. You know,
Yeah.
you got to bomb and you got to get back up. You know, that's what I learned from that first big bomb I had. Where I shut it down when I was a kid for like 4 months. I was like, no, bitch. You gotta get your ass back up there, dog. That's how this shit goes, bro. You gotta fucking, get back up on the bike, whatever the fuck they say, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so fucking stage time, door of being famous, right? And bomb. And get better, bro.
I love it.
That's it. And be cool with everybody. That's the thing I think also is like everything I ever gotten in this business was from other comedians. That's one thing, man. All the good opportunities I had in my life, any audition I might have got or a networking opportunity was from other comedians, man. You know, and I think I've always tried to be cool and helpful with people, and that's always come back to me, man. So, young comics like yourselves, other guys out there, bro, be part of the scene, man. Be cool with everybody. You know, this is a village. You know, and we can all make it stronger, or you can make it worse.
Yeah.
Well, said it from one of the leaders in our scene. You know what I mean? Ricky, man, we all look up to you. I look up to you as a comedian, as a man. Like you're someone you've done it. You've taken the risks. Your advice is amazing, and I'm hoping I'm gonna definitely be clipping this and sending it to all my friends who are comedians down here in South Florida. But thank you so much, man. Thank you for coming out.
I appreciate you guys, man. Because dude, like you say, oh, I'm the man. I've been around forever, and I walk into a room, oh, legend Ricky Cruz doing it. Bro, I'm a peer with you guys, man. We're hitting that same mic, hitting that same stage. Like, for me, it always feels like day one. I've been doing it a long time. But that crowd doesn't know me most of the time. A couple people might. But it's always like, you're always chasing your tail, man. You're only as good as your next show.
Amen.
I love that. No, man, Ricky, this has been such an amazing interview.
I appreciate you guys,
I'm
man.
really glad the Comedy Insider inaugural guest was somebody that had so much insight and so much advice.
I'm the inaugural guest, man.
right.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I appreciate
man.
you guys.
No,
man.
and it couldn't have gone any better. I think you definitely not just laid down the landscape of a great career, but like we just discussed, you've given us all some really good advice to take home and to chew on, and I think that most of Miami comedy is going to be watching this episode and taking a lot from it. So I want to thank you for coming on, sharing that wisdom, and like we said, anytime you want to be a guest here, you are more than welcome. If you ever want to do a show here, we'll just give you the cameras. We don't even care.
Perfect.
Yeah, well, you could just come here, set up. You'll get the cameras. You can talk some shit with whoever you want, man. But it's really been an honor having you on, and more success to come in 2025 for all of us here sitting at this table, and you, Rachel. There you go. We should shout out to our producer, Rachel, who's always keeping us on point, keeping all the graphics up on screen, making sure that we look pretty. But thank you, Ricky.
Man. No problem, man. On the way out, man, guys. Like, I've been doing this for a long time, man, but it's you guys that keep it going. Because if it just stopped after me, a couple guys, we wouldn't have what you guys are doing. You guys are the ones who are, continue to build the scene with the podcasting and all the stuff you're doing, man. So I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Guys, that has been the first episode of the South Florida Comedy Insider podcast. Guys, keep your eye out for this and more content to come from us around more comedy insiders. We're going to be bringing in some of the people that, like Ricky, are performing and producing shows. Some people who just produce, some people who just perform. So if you're somebody who wants to get ingratiated in Miami comedy and get to know what this landscape is like and this culture is like, stay tuned right here. Stay subscribed to all the clips and stuff. Until next time, guys, stay laughing. Thank you very much.